And good morrow, everybody. Welcome along another edition of the Late Tea Time podcast. We didn't, I didn't realise there wasn't any golf last week, so I messaged DT and said, "Are we doing one this week?" And he said, "There isn't anything to talk about." So we didn't see you in that last week, and obviously we're coming to you on a Friday evening this time rather than a Wednesday. So we're looking ahead to the weekend of the Abu Dhabi Championship, and halfway marking that, so we'll get to the weekend there. But before we go any further, just say hello to Dave Tindall, actually, before we go any further. Hello, DT, how are you?
Hello. What are you going to do? Is this a surprise? You're going to surprise me?
No. We have got a little bit of a problem with the Late Tea Time podcast because we are without a sponsor at the moment for 2025. And quite honestly, if we haven't got a sponsor, we haven't got a Late Tea Time podcast. So we are... hopefully you've had some winning bets on the way. Hopefully we've entertained you and you've enjoyed yourself. Certainly the messages that we've had in have suggested such. We've got our regulars and we've got other people as well. And we've got very good numbers at the moment on the Late Tea Time podcast. So it'd be a real shame if we were to walk away from it because we enjoyed doing it. And but obviously we are professionals. Not that you'd know it, but we are professionals and we have to kind of go where the money is. So if we can't get a sponsor for 2025, we are a little bit scuppered. So what the message is from me right at the start of this is if you could please sponsor us, it would be much appreciated. Now, there are different ways of doing it. We could have a headline sponsorship for the entire year. We could sell off sponsorship in fifth chunks so that it makes it a little bit more affordable for people. Certainly, whatever you do, it's not going to be a huge amount of money. But if you would like to sponsor us, or if you know anybody that would like to sponsor us, whether you'd have to be a golfing business. If you're a golfing business, fine. We can put you in front of the golfing world. If you are a golf travel business, fine. We can put you in front of the golfing world. But if you are Fred the Butchers, fine. We can put you in front of the golfing world. And the golfing world is kind of what most people are trying to get into. Fairly affluent people, aren't you? Fairly affluent people. And in terms of marketing, you are kind of a fairly select band. So if we can get your business in front of people who have maybe got a little bit more disposable income than others, great. And if you would like to get in touch with me to talk about how you could get involved with the Late Tea Time podcast, James at sportsbroadcastmedia.co.uk. It's there on the screen. I'll leave it on there for a minute or two. But there are loads of ways. I mean, you've seen how we play the video for Manscaped over the last few months. We've had Switchwater on board as well. We've played their videos too. We will always big you up. We're not kind of a couple of people that will take your cash and then never mention you again. We will give you a proper big billing on the Late Tea Time podcast. So if you'd like to get involved, it would be great to talk to you so we could keep the Late Tea Time podcast going. Because we'd like to, DT, wouldn't we?
We would. And if I need to do my Bob Geldof impression to help things, I shall do so.
Apparently, he never said the F word in that sentence.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't believe it because, excuse my French, warning. There is a swear word coming. The way the tale goes, he was sitting at Wembley for Live Aid in 1985 and said, "Give us your fucking money." But he never actually said that. But he got a little bit agitated and he did demand money.
Have you seen a video of him not saying that?
Yeah, Google it. Yeah, and he doesn't say it.
So we just added it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
That's one of my...
It's been nicely exaggerated for poetic license.
Give us your fucking money.
Yeah.
And he never said that.
No, he never said it.
Give us your money.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what his line was, but it was along the lines of the same kind of principle, but without the F word in it, the F bomb in it.
He did say something which kind of relates to where we are in the world this week, but he did say something like it had £1 million offer from the Dubai. He said something like that, didn't he? There was an offer coming that he mentioned. But that's a bombshell, that no F word.
Didn't know. You didn't know that, did you? Yeah, because I didn't believe it. So I actually went onto YouTube and found his piece, and no F word in there. But anyway, back to where we were. If we could find a sponsor, find 5 or 6 sponsors to share it amongst you, whatever it would be. It would be much appreciated because we'd like to keep it going. Hopefully, you'd like us to keep it going. And the only way to do that is by getting a little bit of money in to pay for everything that it takes. Because I mean, we don't really take much money out of it, but the platform we're on and the website and everything does cost a little bit. So that's basically to pay for things like that. So James at sportsbroadcastmedia.co.uk. And it would be lovely to hear from you. So hopefully my inbox is going to get overwhelmed by people getting in touch, even if it's one of you. It would be absolutely marvelous. So hopefully we'll get that ticking. I'll take that off now, and we will talk about the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship, which, as I say, is halfway through. I've got the markets as they stand at the midway point. Paul Waring, who had a 61, I think, today, 11 to 4. Tommy Fleetwood, 18 to 5. Thorburn Ollison is 8 to 1. Tyrrell Hatton, 8 to 1. Nicholas Norgard Miller is 11 to 1. Johannes Veerman is 14 to 1. Rory McIlroy, I can pronounce that one, 14 to 1. Matt Wallace, 25s. Robert McIntyre, 35s. And the rest are bigger. Obviously, some of their scores are bigger as well. So in terms of where we stand now, DT, Friday evening, and where are we looking in terms of Abu Dhabi? The tournament not the tournament I've played, but the course I've played.
You've played Yas Links.
I've played Yas Links. I've played Abu Dhabi. I've played them all around there. Yeah.
Well, get you.
Yeah. Well, when we the last couple of times I've been out there for cricket, there's like a horseshoe, the Yas Marina just down the road.
Yes, the F1 circuit there, don't they?
F1 circuit. I mean, I could see the F1 circuit from my hotel room last time, and there were they had the F1 teams there staying in the same hotel because they were practicing, not the Grand Prix, but practice laps and things like that. So
where were you? The Marriott?
No, well, yeah, there's a horseshoe of hotels just up from the Formula One track, where all of the kind of the big hotels like that are, and it's literally a 5-minute walk down to the F1 circuit from there. So you tend to get a lot of the teams staying in those hotels, and they're scranning the breakfast and then heading off to the pit lane to do whatever they do. But yeah, and you could obviously tell who they were because they'd got all of their branded gear on.
There must be one of them who can sponsor us, surely.
Yeah, if you're watching and you remember me from the hotel.
Yeah. Any of the teams. We love all the teams. Yeah. Give us your money.
Anyway, Abu Dhabi, HSBC. As I mentioned, Paul Waring, absolutely on fire today with a 61 to follow. He's up on his 64. Johannes Veerman, he had a 67 today. So he is in second. There's 4 tied seconds. You got Norgard, Fleetwood, and Ollison tied second. And then Laurie Cantner, Cousard, Hatton, and Wallace are in 6th place. But there's a little bit of a gap in there. Paul Waring's taking a little bit of a lead on the rest of the pack.
Well, yeah, quite a big lead. 5-shot lead. You normally, when you see someone with a 5-shot lead, depending on who's around them, I guess, but you're thinking, they're maybe about even money, because 5-shot leads are quite rare, and when they come along, a lot of them get converted. But I can see 11 to 4 on Paul Waring, which is kind of blinking at me a little bit, because you just think, wow, that's 5 shots clear. But
it's a dodgy website if it's flashing at you.
He hasn't won. He's only won once. He's only won a tournament in 2018. So it's been 6 years, the Nordea Masters. He's a good guy. He's a sort of person I bet for first round leader, because he doesn't really go on to win many tournaments, but 5 clear, there's something going on. I suppose the thing is, he's 19 under. The scoring is absolutely crazy. And when there's wild scoring like that, he could do well tomorrow, shoot 67, and one of these guys could shoot 61 and go past him. So it's kind of quite a volatile sort of scoring, I think.
I can tell you, DT, when I played that course, which was literally just behind my hotel, I did not shoot a 61.
No, on the front 9, maybe.
I'm not even sure I did that.
Was it? Tell me it was windy when you played it.
No, it was a beautiful day. Yeah, but it's funny when you play a course. It's a beautiful course, it really is, and just the seas next to it. But when you play one blind, when you've never played a course before, sometimes you get a little bit fooled.
Yes.
Some of the holes you can see everything of. There's one that goes over the water there towards the end of the round, but the when there's maybe a dip just before the green, you lose a little bit of track about exactly how far it is before to the pin, so you do get fooled a little bit. And there's quite a few sort of sand duney kind of little hummocks around as well to kind of take your eye off where you're aiming at.
Yeah, I mean, it's called the Yas Links, and it's links, so it does have links properties to it, even though it was carved out of the desert kind of thing. But and Paul Waring is from that kind of Lancashire coast. He's a Liverpool fan, so he's played a lot of links golf playing on that coast, as has Tommy Fleetwood, who is second. What I've done, I thought it was quite interesting to compare Tommy Fleetwood and Thorbjorn Oleson's careers, because they do overlap quite a lot. Both have played Ryder Cup, but if you look at Oleson's won 8 times on the European Tour, Tommy Fleetwood's won 7. They're quite similar in age. They're just a year apart in age. Fleetwood 33, Oleson 34. And then you think, if you look at the odds, Fleetwood is basically half the price of Oleson, if you look at the odds. And yet, when you look at why, or you look at their winning records, well, if you count November 2022 as kind of a starting point, Fleetwood won in 2022, Nedbank Golf Challenge in South Africa. Then he won the Dubai Invitational earlier this year. Obviously, a win in the region, which is good. He's also won at the other Abu Dhabi course twice. But then Oleson, if you go back to 2022, he won the Betfred British Masters, he won the Thailand Classic, and then he won in Ras Al Khaimah in January. So starting from 2022, Oleson's actually won more times than Fleetwood. But obviously we think Fleetwood is the better golfer because he's the one that shows up in majors, major leaderboards. But in terms of winning events on the DP World Tour, Oleson is just as good as Fleetwood. And the thing I noted as well, look at his winning scores when his last 2 wins, minus 27 in Ras Al Khaimah, minus 24 in Thailand. So Thorbjorn Oleson's recent wins have come in absolute birdie fests, and that's exactly what we're in here. Yeah. So even though if you ask anyone who's into golf, who's the better player, Fleetwood or Oleson, everyone's going to say Fleetwood. But there's an argument to be made that Oleson, can live with him on what they've done recently. And then you look at the odds, and it's a no-brainer to me. You'd be backing Oleson. So Oleson is going to be my man for the weekend.
Oleson, the man for the weekend. We'll come back and we'll firm up that bet in just a second. But whilst they are still our sponsors, and we'll say thank you very much to manscaped.com. This could be you. This could be your slot if you were to sponsor us for 2025. And we'll say thank you to manscaped.com. And this is what they do. They do some very nice stuff, including this razor they sent me the other day. And it's dead good. DT fancies one of these.
Here at the Shave Combine, the Dome Shaver Pro from Manscaped has dominated.
Scott, if we had this baby, we'd still be playing.
Prove it. That's skin-safe technology right there to help prevent nicks and cuts. Back in the day, this was all we had. We deserved better. Wow, each blade is in such close contact with the skin. And it's shower-ready, too. Visit manscaped.com now. I mean, you blew out your Achilles, but your head looks good.
You blew out your Achilles, but your head looks good. There you go, manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping if you quote late on the manscaped.com website. And as that advert suggests, it's not just about the kind of nether regions, and they do all kinds of male grooming, including that if you're follically challenged upstairs, that will make sure your head looks absolutely marvellous. Anyway, back to the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship. And as DT was just saying there, looking at maybe Oleson, who was 8-1 at the moment to best price to lift the trophy. That would be your first tip of the week, would it?
Yeah, it's the main one, but I'm guessing you want another one.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, if there's nothing else that stands out, we can turn off and say goodbye to these lovely people.
No, I think there is. It's a bit of a punt because if you've seen the leaders minus 19, you start to get a bit twitchy looking too far back. But then it's one man on minus 19. If he has a bad couple of days or average couple of days, then the lead is kind of minus 14, and that brings in so many other players into it. So the one I thought that took my eye, I think you can get about 40-1, is Tristan Lawrence.
Yes.
So if you remember him from the Open Championship at Royal Troon this summer, had a really, really good week, finished fourth there to show he can play links golf. And then we go back to this sort of 2022, last couple of years. How many wins have you got? Well, he's got 3. So he won the Omega European Masters at Crans. He won the South African Open, and then he won the BMW International Open. So this is a guy who knows how to win. So he's won. He even got a win in 2021. So he's got 4 European Tour, DP World Tour wins. He's playing on a links course where he's good. All South Africans seem to be good at links golf. They just sort of suits them. And I'm looking at his scorecard. He played the back nine in 29.
Wow.
Yesterday.
I didn't do that either.
No. So he's got some. He can really take this course apart. I just thought of all those slightly further down. Yeah, you can look at McIlroy, but he's quite short, and there's other ones. But Lawrence is quite a big price based on how often he can win. And if Paul Waring does come back to the field, Lawrence could shoot a low one tomorrow and be right in there. So it's kind of your each way price.
50-1. You get 50 best price at 50-1. It's 40-1 most places, but Betway is showing up at 50-1 3 places for Tristan Lawrence, and most of them are 3 places now. We're coming towards the weekend, so that's not a bad price. That 50-1. I was watching a little video of Rory the other day because he's changed his swing. He's been working on his swing, and they showed him from behind, and I couldn't tell the difference.
No,
he's not done anything dramatic with it.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm no expert on the swing. So when they break it down, it all seems to make sense. But then you think there's so much going on, isn't there, that you have to think about, and then you start.
I love it when they get the 3D hologram and they actually get like a Rory sort of in the studio and they're walking around him looking at the various parts of his swing. It's crazy. When you go back to when we were young and you were watching it on one camera, following them all the way down the fairways, the technology and the coverage nowadays is just crazy, isn't it?
Hasn't it come on?
It's come on a lot.
Goodness me!
And even amateurs now can do the ball tracker, can't they, on their phones? That's mad.
Yeah.
When I first saw the ball tracker, I was thinking, how can you do that? And now there's apps on phones that can do it.
All very clever, isn't it? All very clever.
Far cleverer than myself.
And me, yes. How are you? How is your? I know a few people asking me to watch this podcast. How are you recovering?
All right. I've still got my stick. I kind of walking around with my stick, but the stick's now mainly to keep myself straight when I'm walking. But the leg actually feels quite strong. But I should be going in to have the other one done because I need both sides doing. Should be going in to have the other one done hopefully before Christmas. If not Christmas, just after. And then after that, she said, I'll be flying.
You'll literally be flying. Gosh.
I'll be flying. So, I mean, you have both your legs done, and all of a sudden, whee, you're away. You can do anything. Right. But yeah, the first one has gone as well as I could have hoped, really. So,
very good.
All good. Yeah, all good. So thank you to anybody that's been inquiring. It's very much appreciated. And I am still here. And the second one should be done, within a number of weeks. I'm not quite sure how many. I haven't got the actual date yet. But when I have the second one done and obviously recovered from that, I'll be close to normal, or as close to normal as I might get.
Well, if you see, if we ever do this as a live broadcast outside, say we did it tomorrow, you'd see me limping as well.
Why? What's wrong with you?
I think I broke my toe playing football, 5-a-side.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, ow, big toe as well. So I have a purple toe and I can't walk very well.
So did you try and kick the ball and kick a wall instead or something?
I kicked the back of a bloke's heel. Somehow I don't know what he had in his boots, but
his heel's okay, is it?
Yeah. So
I
I was wearing like a ballet shoe, and he was wearing like a lead boot or something. I don't know.
I broke my ankle once playing football in the street. I was watching the ball, not watching where the edge of the curb was, and turned my ankle over, and that was bad. But you can get strange accidents, injuries in the workplace.
Yes.
Often the ones that are comical or silly sounding are actually the worst ones.
Yes.
So anyway, they are our two picks for the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship. Thorben Olsen 8-1. He's right up there in contention and goes big, goes low when he gets going. And the other one, Tristan Lawrence 50-1, 3 places with Betway. So if you have a look on their site, you'll find Tristan at a very tantalising price. It's around about 40-1 elsewhere. But back to where we started. If you could sponsor us for next year, please, somebody. If you got your own business, we can make it nice and cheap for you. If you haven't got your own business, but you know somebody else, or even if you just fancy chucking in some money, it would be lovely to have you on board. We'll give you a massive plug as we go through 2025. We've got quite big plans. We went into the studio only a few weeks ago and recorded a few things. We'll be doing stuff like that again in 2025. So it's a good time to get involved with the Late Tea Time podcast. So if you have got a bit of a marketing budget or anything, then get in touch with me at James at sportsbroadcastmedia.co.uk, as it shows on the screen there. That's my email address. That will get straight through to me, and we can have a little bit of a chat about how we can get you in front of the golfing world. It'd be lovely to hear from you, DT. It'd be lovely to hear from them.
It would absolutely, yes.
So
I can't relate to that. Yeah, all good.
So that's our Abu Dhabi halfway preview. Is the golf next week?
Yes, it's the big finale on the DP World Tour next week. It's the DP World Tour Championship at the Jumeirah Estates. Have you played that one?
Which one's that? That rings a bell. Where's that?
Dubai, UAE.
I think I might have done. Played a lot of courses out there.
Probably
on days off.
Yeah, you probably have.
Yeah, on days off. I think I have. I think
you said before you played it. Yeah.
I played the Ernie Els course as well, and I've played the Yas one and the Abu Dhabi. I've played all of them. They're all quite a bit like Abu Dhabi and Dubai themselves, quite man-made. But you wouldn't know after it's settled down. You wouldn't know it's man-made at all. They've got some very good people. When I played the Ernie Els course, that was only just really completed. I was not one of the first people on it, but there's quite a few residences or houses or apartments or whatever kind of down the fairways. They've kind of built property alongside the golf course, and a lot of them were still being built when I was playing it. But they're all kind of very swanky courses where you get your golf cart and you get the GPS and you can pull up alongside your ball and know exactly how far it is to the front of the green and all that kind of thing. So it's they're very smart courses, because we don't have caddies at our level, do we? We don't have caddies telling us how far to hit it and what club to take.
No, I've had a caddy a couple of times. They are very worth the weight in gold.
Do you think?
Yeah, I played Muirfield. I was lucky enough to play Muirfield and had a caddy, and he saw stuff I didn't have a clue about, like how it would break on the greens, especially.
I didn't like that.
Really?
I played Sandy Lane in Barbados, and had a local caddy, and he was basically standing there and saying, "Aim at my right foot," kind of thing, and it was like miles away, and I was kind of reading it and thinking that doesn't look right, and it made me putt terribly.
Through he did it, yeah. I just trusted him. So.
I'm a man of instinct, Dave. I just go with the flow and see how it works, and he was getting in the way of my instincts.
Okay.
Anyway, don't get in the way of people's instincts, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck with your bets. Hopefully you have some success out there. A reminder, Thorben Olsen 8-1, Tristan Lawrence is 50-1. You don't have to follow DT. Go your own way. Follow your own instincts if you want to. DT is the man on the putting green with his right foot in position, telling you to go that way. But if you've got instincts another way, use those instincts. Go your own way, and however you bet, gamble responsibly. Good luck with your bets, and we'll see you next time. Cheers all.
always, gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information.